The American theologian, philosopher, and abolitionist Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that the mind, once stretched to a new idea, can never return to its former dimensions. Another way of saying that quote is, the mind that has been enlarged to a new way of thinking can never return to its former constraints of bondage and limitations. That's a powerful quote. When I saw that, I knew I had to speak on it. There's so many things that we're told are impossible. You can't do that because you're the wrong color. You can't do that because you don't have the right education. You can't do that because you don't have enough money. You can't do that because you don't have enough connections. You don't have the relationships. But once we lose the can't of a thing, we transcend that mindset and we move into a new place. We move from who we were into who we are. Yes, I love that. I like that. Once we move past the can't, we move from who we were into who we are. And once we move into who we are in the now. And the scriptures tell us now faith, not used to be faith, not I heard about faith, but now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So where we are now is what matters, which is why we're constantly seeking to grow and to transcend. Now, in 1954, prior to October of 1954, no one had ever broken the 4-minute mile. You may have heard this before. And in 1954, in Oxford, England, there was a man named Roger Bannister. He ran the 4-minute mile he ran the mile in a sub 4-minute time for the first time ever in history. Prior to that, it was believed by athletes, trainers, scientists that it was impossible for the human body to run the 4-minute mile in less than 4 minutes. But once this man did it, guess what happened? 37 other people in 1955 broke the 4-minute mile. And as of today, there are thousands and thousands of runners who have broken the 4-minute mile. In 1947, there was an aircraft pilot. His name was Chuck Yeager. This man flew a plane. It was called, I believe it was called Glamorous Gloria or something like that. That was named after his wife. He flew up an aircraft beyond the speed of sound. Prior to that time, scientists, aeronautics experts, engineers, they all believed that the plane would break up if it attempted to cross the sound barrier. Once he broke the sound barrier, the next year and year after and the year after, many, many planes flew. As a matter of fact, nowadays, many, many military flights fly beyond the speed of sound. My point is, once that fallacy is broken, this is what I believe. I believe there are no limitations but the limitations we place upon ourselves. I believe that there is no can't, there is no won't, there is no impossibility other than what we embrace. I say to you, what is your 4-minute mile in your life? What is the sound barrier in your life? And let me say this, in the case of the sound barrier, the plane breaking the sound barrier, right before a plane crosses that rate of speed, the plane shakes violently. Why? Because it's breaking the constraints of that which previously existed. Now that doesn't happen because the designs have changed, the thinking has changed, and now planes are designed with breaking the sound barrier in mind. Why can't we live our lives and build our lives and build our futures based on breaking the sound barriers in our lives, breaking the financial barriers in our lives, breaking the racial barriers, the societal barriers, the religious barriers, the barriers of people caring for one another. We don't have to be subject to the limitations and the boundaries that were yesterday. We can now create the now reality based upon today's truth. This has been your wow moment from the Well of Wisdom. I pray that you have a blessed and amazing day. God bless.